Oh my gosh, it's been a while. Hope everybody's doing good. Been a few weeks again. What can I say? Just living life. Gonna wing it as usual this morning. And so here's what I thought first. We're gonna look at this. A stack of postcards? Now, here's the thing with this. I think we might have looked at these before, but I can't remember. And, oh my gosh, jeez. Anyways, they've been sitting on my desk for quite a while. The thing is, they've been there for months and months and months, just literally sitting on my desk in front of my face. And I wrote a note on here, could go in my giant album if I want. So I guess that I thought that these were pretty cool. I don't put anything into that album that I don't like, that I don't find somewhat interesting, or of some kind of quality that I enjoy. So, it is weird for me, like I just about guarantee we've seen them. But anyway, we're going to look at them again, and they've just been here so long on my desk, I can't remember what's in there. Anyways, let's take a look at these postcards first and then move on to whatever. Okie dokie. So let's see here. Let's just, I'll get these out of the way. We'll just take a look at them one by one. See what's going on. So immediately, a flag cancel. So that just makes complete sense to me why I would like to put something like this in that big album, because flag cancels are pretty cool. This is actually a Christmas greetings card. Man, look at that little handwriting. I definitely can't write cursive that well or that small. So, 1919, Oklahoma. Yeah, love the flag cancel. Okay, this I have a little note. It says Germany RPPC. So a real, what was it? Real picture? Real photo postcard? I think it's real photo postcard. Looks like somebody wrote, I think 54. Now, I'll be honest. I think that 54 is a little bit late for real photo postcards. I almost wonder if this really is. And you know what? I've got just the tool to find out right here. So just give me one sec. Ooh. Okay. Oh boy, I must have messed up the camera there. I'm actually a little bit torn if this is a real photo. I might have to do a little bit of research on that. Anyways, I want to try to see if I can figure this out for sure. For those of you who don't know, or if you've seen these in the past, I have shown these in the past, these RPPCs. You need a Carson Lumi Loop or something similar to zoom in on this thing, and it's been so long, but I believe that it'll get kind of pixelated if it's not a real photo, and if you zoom in, like this is 10 times, right? When you zoom in, if it's a real photo, it'll stay detailed. It won't get grainy or nasty or anything like that. This doesn't seem to get super grainy. So I can understand why, at least off the cuff, I would think this is a real photo. But yeah, let me see if I can figure this out real quick, just to verify. Okay, so I've spent, I want to say, about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm not going to spend any more time, which I kind of feel like I need to verify for sure. But just a little refresher on real photo postcards. So they started gaining popularity in 1907, but in 1903, Kodak introduced the first 3A Kodak autographic camera, which could create postcard-sized negatives. And then it says in 1907, Kodak officially launched the Real Photo Postcard service, allowing amateur photographers to easily create photographs from their photos. Then in 1907 to 15, This period was known as the divided back era. Haha, which, without even looking it up, I think that that's what this would fall under. Because I think the back is divided like this, where you have the address and the note that you want to leave. I believe that that's what divided back is. I'm going off of memory on that, but that makes logical sense and sounds familiar. So anyway, 1907 to 15, the divided back era saw a huge surge in postcard popularity, including RPPCs, due to the ability to include both the address and the message on the back. Of course it says that, yep. Okay, and then it says World War I, RPPCs became particularly popular for soldiers and sailors to send photos of themselves in uniform to their families. That actually makes a whole lot of sense. And then finally, without getting too deep, it does say early to mid 1900s, real photo postcards continued to be produced and used throughout this period, capturing various aspects of life and events. So, that kind of answers that. I mean, if we're talking if they were used throughout the early to mid 1900s, then, I mean, if this is for real, let's see if it'll focus. Yep, it looks like it says maybe June 27th, 54. This may very well be a real photo postcard, but here's the thing for me. I kind of worry this might be a reproduction. Which is something that you really have to watch out for. Now, I don't sell postcards anymore. I did for a few years there, but I just wasn't successful enough, frankly. I was on Hit Postcard, and there's so many people selling stuff on there that are established. It's really hard to like hop on there and just start selling stuff. And I believe that I finally folded and ended my store. Because the monthly payments to keep my store active ended up being more than what I was selling. So basically, it just didn't make any financial sense to keep the store. It was just like, hey, I'm just losing money, and I spent all this time and effort listing all these different postcards. Oh my gosh. So kind of a shame. I believe I still have my entire store inventory, and I've listed it for sale, I think, on eBay, if not Hipstamp. I'd have to look. I was trying to just sell my whole inventory in one swipe, like, hey, anybody wants to just buy it, which I don't think I did. I think nobody's bought it, and I still have it on my shelf. So, anyways, just a little story time there about what happened to me. Gosh, I really did try with these postcards. I did sell some, for sure, but I just wasn't making any money. It was like kind of pointless, and what the heck, I'm not trying to lose money, and I was losing money. So anyway, that's the story. So I would have to look at that more. My problem with that one is when I look at it through the Carson Lumi Loop, it doesn't seem to get more detailed. It seems like it gets less detailed. Like I could even see like the ink spots, like the dots. Not so much dots, but splotches, let's say. And I'm not confident with that one. I'm not confident. I need to spend more time, and I just don't really feel like it. So now this one, right off the bat, I can tell you, this is a real photo postcard. I don't know if you guys can even see it. Yeah, there you go. That silver sheen, that's a dead giveaway for a real photo. And holding this, it feels like a real photo. It's higher quality paper. It's kind of thick, and you can just tell it's not normal cheap postcard paper. 1921, wow, February 7th, Budapest. So this is a real photo. I would buy into that. As soon as I see that silver sheen, that's pretty much a dead giveaway. It's like, yep, that's a photo that's been developed. Is this the same guy? Looks like the same guy. Oops. I think so. If not, wait, hold up. This guy has his hair parted on the left. This guy has it parted on the right. It looks like the same guy, sorta. If it's not, maybe they're related. anyways, I won't sit on that one too long. It kind of seems like the same guy. This one actually has been embossed. There's an embossment here. Does it come through? It does, actually. You can see it there. Szendzijk. Zendzik. Oh boy. Yeah, I'm not even... yeah, I don't know what everything that means, but... interesting. So, that's another really cool one. Okay, to keep this moving, I know postcards are not everybody's thing, but I do like them. And, this one is definitely a real photo. It's got that silver sheen all across it. Man, times have changed, huh? People don't dress like this anymore. People don't look like this. Okay, and this one has this, what I think they would call a ornamental border, where they've actually cut out the border with a cool design. There was some kind of tool for that, some kind of cutting tool that would allow you to add this kind of border. I always like the ornamental borders. I think they're cool. What does this say? Oh boy. Something, thanks somebody. All right. So I can't read that. 1938. It looks like the 4th and then a 5. Is it the 4th of May in 1938? Or is it April 5th? I'm not sure, but usually, I guess it makes sense if you went year, month, day. It's just weird to see the month be in, oh my gosh, Roman numerals. I was going to say Arabic. Anyway, cool postcard. Okay, moving on. Yeah, I mean, so far I'm liking all of these. The one that I would leave out so far would be this guy, because I am not confident of it being a real photo. Actually, let me check this one with my Lumi Loop. Yeah, it's hard to explain unless you really get into postcards. But they do get, like, if it's a real photo and you zoom in, it doesn't get less clear. The detail it's actually I guess magnified, so anyways, this does come off to me like a real photo postcard. This has absolutely no information on the back whatsoever. So I will say, when I zoom in with the loop, this does seem to be a real photo. However, I kind of struggle. I don't see any silver sheen, so I don't have that to kind of be a dead giveaway, but looking at this, I also really question if it's a real photo. I mean, just look at it, it looks like a painting or something. This goes past my expertise. If this is a real photo, how did they do this effect, right? How did they do that? That's interesting. It might be something simple I just don't know about. And when I hold it up to my Lumi Loop, it definitely seems to hold detail with 10 times zoom there. So this is a high quality. If it isn't a real photo, it's a high quality print. Oh man, interesting. In all honesty, I'm just not confident about that one either. Kind of weird. I didn't expect to be second guessing all these that I had put in here. Like this, if I had labeled this a real photo postcard, I wouldn't have done that unless I had some degree of confidence. I don't like to set myself up, So anyway, it's been a couple of years since I was really messing around with these RPPCs, man. I just can't remember everything right off the bat, right after I woke up on a Sunday morning, you know what I mean? After years. So this is Canada, August 23rd, I guess. Dear somebody, blah, blah, I cannot even read that. I'm not even going to try. It looks like an alien language. So this is not an RPPC. This is just a Canada postcard. That's cool. What do they call that? Like a, I was gonna say grid line cancel. Is that the right term? I mean, I think that'd be an obliterator. Man, Christ. What do you call? I'm trying to think of the name of a certain kind of cancel. Ellipse. Is that ellipse? Ellipse cancel. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what an ellipse cancel is, but my guts are telling me that might be it. Hold on, let me check. Yes, so I do believe this is an ellipse, which is kind of the grid cancel in an oval. A lot of them will have numbers in the middle of the cancel. Anyways, so Glenada, Quebec. Okay, so Glenada, Canada. Okay. I guess I'm thinking it's Quebec because QUE, that must be. So, okay. Yeah, here we have a really old postcard from Canada. Another sent to New York. Mr. Horace Smith, I think. Interesting. It's got some kind of scribble over it. Wow, 79. Oh man, so this must be 1879. Wow, this one's definitely older. Yorkville, Ontario, Canada. Dear Smith, in the letter I sent you just before leaving for Canada, I asked you to send me a postcard. I should be glad to receive one from you soon and learn whether Mr. I don't know, somebody is taking my work, not sure, in the, okay, well, I was able to read some of it. Really cool handwriting, like, pretty good cursive and small, and yeah, that's actually nice to look at. Okay, so here we have just another Canadian postcard. I did not expect there to be so many of these. This one looks a little bit more recent than the last one. Oh, it's in French. Monsieur, sur le conseil de la plaisir, blah, blah, blah. So, I'm not going to try to read that, just to spare all you guys. And, yeah. CA 1900. Notre Dame. Notre Dame, like the castle of Notre Dame is in Montreal? Hold on, let me Google that. I didn't know that. Okay, well, Google says that the Cathedral of Notre Dame is in Paris. And it's a historic Catholic cathedral. Because that's what I was thinking. I've heard growing up plenty, Notre Dame, blah, blah, blah. Like, I've just heard the name so many times. That must be what they're referring to, the actual cathedral in Paris, because Google's telling me it's most commonly referred to as the University of Notre Dame in Indiana, USA. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think so. That's not what comes to mind for me. Okay, it looks like another one from just like the one from earlier, Canada, 1870. Wow, that's so cool. I love this old stuff, honestly. Oh my gosh. Okay, here's an older looking Canadian postcard. Hold on, man. Oh my gosh, this whole thing almost seems like a stack of Canadian postcards. Okay, so I'm glad I'm looking through this because, wow, I would not have thought that. Avery, Ohio, this was sent to, looks like 98 cancel, so must be 1898. Couple of different CDS on there. Oh, CDS stamps. Some really light writing. So anyway, let's not stick on that too long. Okay, next we have another Canadian postcard. And it looks a little damaged. That's a shame. Is there two of them here? No. Okay. It's just one. So a blank Canadian postcard. Yeah, these are older. I mean, you can tell by the paper and stuff, but mainly what gives them away for me is the what would you call that? The stamped postage. Oh God, what do you call it? Ink stamp. I'm not even sure what to call it. I'm looking, sorry. Like these, just like stamps themselves, these kind of older portraits of royalty, you can just kind of tell they just are an older, like, style. And so anyways, keep this in a pretty little pile. So, moving on here, another, okay, what does this say? Business reply card. Carte Response d'Affaires. Mr. J.A. Vickers, Canadian John Manville Company, Montreal. You may give me, without obligation, of course, a complimentary copy of Fair and Warmer, says the weatherman. Up to 15 degrees cooler, says John Manville. Weird. Interesting, this, like, you can give me a complimentary copy without obligation, of course. I mean, if you want, you kind of weird. It's like he's implying that he'd like to get something, but he doesn't have to. But if you want to give him something, okay, whatever. Kind of weird. Okay, another Canadian postcard. This one's older, but not super duper old, I don't believe. Interesting, that writing there reminds me of some Roman covers I have, some Papal States covers that where they used to actually just write the franking on there, and it would be like postage paid. Whoa. So it was sent to Chicago, looks like 1905. There is a whole bunch of stuff written on there. I'm not even going to get into that. Pretty cool looking, though. Almost looks like, I don't know, 12/10/05? Not sure. Not sure. Not going to spend a lot of time on it. Canada, 1890. I said $5 to $10. This is an older one. Canada, 1890. Okay, somebody wrote that. That's how I knew. So you write the address on this side. Okay. Okay, so that seemed like the end of the old Canadian postcards. So now we have just a stack of, looks like random actual cards. Yet it's no compliment, but a real joy to wish you. Okay, so greetings cards. Greetings on your birthday. Truly thy friend, Lucinda S. George. I am truly thy friend. Nobody talks like that anymore. Mr. and Mrs. something Kratzer. I don't know why this comes off as like German. Okay, there's nothing on there. Interesting. I'm not sure. Okay, so this is like, I could see myself putting those Canadian postcards in here, but these actually, as I'm looking at them, I was thinking, why? Like, I don't even know why I would have in the past given any kind of crap about these. And I'm starting to wonder if it has anything to do with the gold shiny stuff. We all know that I'm simple-brained sometimes and like shiny things, including stamps. And I'm noticing as I'm looking at this stack, a lot of these have some kind of gold shine or sheen. So, perhaps I intended to put these pretty postcards in my section of the album, excuse me, that has to do with gold foil. That could be. This was an interesting one, I gotta say. What a weird little piece. Valentine card. Man, every time that I see a Valentine card, it takes me right back to, I don't know what it would have been. I don't know what grade, first grade, second grade, something like that. I can picture the classroom. I remember being there, and I remember giving out Valentine. It was like the rule was you had to give everybody in class a Valentine, even that kid that you hated, even the snot-nosed dork. Just everybody had to make everybody else a Valentine card as some kind of little gift with a piece of candy. And so I remember doing that. That was all real fun. I just remember all that. Happy Christmas. Yeah, see, this one's all shiny. Daisy. I like that name, Daisy. Wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Your cousin Ruth. P.S. Many thanks for your card. Today's Father's Day, and so happy Father's Day to all you guys out there. Merry Christmas. Just a hearty greeting and a wish. Sincere for a Merry Christmas and a glad New Year. A glad New Year. Huh. Okay, with best wishes for your happiness during Christmas and through the New Year. It's so weird to write through like that. THRU. Is that technically correct English anymore? Or is that just old-fashioned? And, yeah, this one definitely is pretty. This one, the gold shimmers beautifully. That's gotta be what's going on. You guys see this? I mean, look at this. Every one of them is like gold foil. I think that I stole these out of my collection that the ones I was selling, and decided to keep them just because I thought they were pretty. 1910, Oklahoma, or Kansas City. This space is for writing messages. Yeah, this is cool. This one's beat up a little bit, but it is a pretty card. It's leaving gold flake on my friggin' desk here. Yikes. That's cool. Okay, so let's kind of look at these real quick. So, silver rose, very pretty. I'll be honest, a thought that just crossed my head is I expected to see more flag cancels in this stack. But seems like just maybe the one. Another Kansas City postcard. Sorry for yawning. It is early. I just got up, of course. To my pal, a cheery word, a smiling face, a helping hand when due. A friendship spanning time and space. To me, these all mean you. That's actually pretty nice. I like that. Oh man, it's been all ripped up and they've taped it. Bummer. Well, nice job trying to tape it and keep it together. Whoa, this one is gorgeous. Hold on. I'm gonna get my hand under it. Oh my gosh. That is crazy. It's not quite cloth, but wow. Oh my gosh. That is a gorgeous card. I mean, wow. They're like so it's definitely just a normal postcard. It looks unused. Oh no, it's used. Love, Helen. Something maybe Stefan. Goodness, it says hearty Christmas greetings and best wishes for the new year. That is one of the prettiest freaking postcards I might have ever seen. Well, and I guess this would be snow. That's even raised up and you can feel it. Man, this thing shines and feels great. Oh, look, she's up in the window with a candle. That is so cute. This is definitely I'd have to say this is my favorite card I've seen so far. It feels amazing. It looks amazing. This is gorgeous. Oh my god. Okay, this one 100% I'm putting in my album. I'll stew over these other ones. I don't know. But this one captured my heart. This one right away. This is super cool. Where does a guy find a card like this? Oh my gosh. I'm wondering if it's a linen postcard or not. Anyways, wow. That one is stunning. I really like that. So I'm going to actually separate that out of this pile. And anyways, that does it for looking at this. I'm glad we checked it out. Okay, now I'm going to put it back in the same spot, so there it is again, but at least I know what's going on. So, on to the next thing that we're going to check out. Okay, so ended up grabbing this totally random binder, and it happens to be Mongolia. It looks like it also says Mozambique, and oh, okay. Oh, got the hiccups. Whoa. Oh, excuse me. What the heck? Oh, so Mozambique Company. And maybe the hiccups is from my tea. I'm drinking here some tea, and my body's probably freaking out because it's evening tea. It's sleepy time tea, but it's the morning. Jeez. Okay. All right. So he says this book, $185.90. Okay, if you say so. Yeah, immediately looking at these, I think to myself, ew, could be in better shape. Like this one looks kind of smashed at the seam here where it's held in. It's like puffed out. There's a clear line on the stamp. So this is number 66. Mint. Let me get 65 cents. That doesn't look mint to me, buddy, even by old standards. I mean, there's hinges all over it, and it's got creases and stuff, so that is not mint. He says there's 2 of them. So, yeah, looks like... Oh, no, earliest is actually... Nope, sorry. 66 is the earliest number, then I got a 67 over here, but... there's a little stack of these. And, yeah, these can definitely be in better shape. So as soon as I literally just grabbed this one because I don't want this video to take forever. And it looked like a smaller album that we haven't looked at in my collection so far. But when I think of Mongolia, the first thing that actually comes to mind is Mongolian Buffet. And then the Great Wall of China. But, man, there used to be this really good Mongolian Buffet right up the street. I still miss it. Oh, gross. Look at this. Can you guys even see this? Yeah, I don't think you can see this. This thing's disgustingly dusty. Ugh. I've got to do something about this right now. It's gross. Ugh. Okay, sorry. Okay, so we got some pretty cool looking flowers. These look like CTOs, number 195 through 199. Oh, actually 202. These are pretty, though. Definitely CTOs. I mean, come on, dead giveaway. There's no gum, but yeah. These cancel placements, they're a little bit too perfect in the corner. These have got to be CTOs. Let's see, what else do we have here? There's Romulus, is that the name? Will I ever get that right? Romulus and Remus, right? The little mother wolf suckling her pups or something. Yeah. Olympics, yeah, okay. What is this? Oh, it's part of that. Okay. Interesting. Yeah, boy, I love me some Mongolian food. They at the buffet we used to go to, they closed it, so it's gone. But it used to. They literally had like a big, like a vat of MSG, and you would. It's like a buffet. Sorry, I'm trying to think of how to describe it. Kind of like a buffet. You'd walk and pick all your ingredients that you want, throw it into a bowl, raw fish, meat, whatever, veggies, all that, and then you hand it to the chef, and he cooks it for you on a big Mongolian grill right in front of your face. And I remember he'd always ask me, "MSG?" Oh yeah, put that MSG on there, buddy, because that's some good stuff. But yeah, I miss that place. Anywho, Mongolia with a bow and arrow. It must be their god or something. Was that like fresh milk? That triggers in my head a thought that bothers me on a somewhat regular basis that we aren't legally allowed to have raw milk here in America. That totally pisses me off. Like, why not? Why can't we have raw milk? You know? I mean, I understand that we pasteurize it for a reason, but this is supposed to be, you know, the land of freedom. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to have raw milk, you should be able to drink raw milk. You know, I'd say, like, whoever buys it, you know, if you're going to buy it from wherever, they just need to have some kind of disclaimer that would say, hey, this is raw milk, raw unfiltered product, you know, may have, you know, you may get sick, you know, complications are possible, blah, blah, blah. That's always been the case, right? You know, so why not at least let people buy it if they choose? And I would absolutely be getting it. I love raw milk. I'm a huge fan. I've only had it once. I had a big giant jar, a big huge mason jar of it, and man, it was great. I loved it. I was like, man, if only I could get this all the time. These are really cool. I mean, these are pretty colors. It's kind of tropical looking almost. So yeah, I'm sad about that. Pasteurized milk is fine, you know, but I'd rather have raw milk. Apparently, there's like, you know, bionutrients. There's, you know, enzymes, whatever. There's stuff in the milk that gets killed when you pasteurize it, so we don't get the nutrients because we've cooked it. So these are cool. Okay, this says $6.99 to $7.05. $2 set, so they ain't worth nothing. They look like CTOs, but they are pretty. These remind me of some Iranian stamps. Is actually what pops in my head, but I guess Persian stamps is how the stamps I'm thinking of. These are cool, yeah. Coin, Olympic stamps. It says Munich, 1972. These must be more recent than I kind of thought when I first saw them, but come to think of it, I mean, these have to be fairly recent. Just look at, you know, just look at them. They're too pretty. It's too nice quality. It has the gold foil shining. This is not an old stamp, so yeah, it's pretty cool. So somebody actually bothered to put this in a nice little holder. I actually have a whole stack of these awesome little holders. These are perfect if you sell stamps for like if you want to sell a set of stamps just like this, pretty much. They're just perfect. They offer some safety because there is some rigidity to this this card. So yeah, those are actually really nice. I really did. I bought a whole stack of them and I never use them. It's almost like I don't want to use them because they're too nice. Kind of stupid, but whatever. Okay, so these are interesting. More CTOs. Oh yeah, as we're making our way through this album, it's becoming pretty clear to me that it is riddled with CTOs. A lot of these are CTOs. These have the selvage, like they were just torn, like it was a SUV sheet or something, and they just tore off the stamps individually. Old-timey farm truck. Yeah, sorry for the big delay in between my videos. As usual, I'm just trying to find that work-life balance. I've said that many times, but at the moment it seems to be a video every 3 weeks, which is honestly not okay for me. I think that I need to do a little bit, do videos a little bit more often. I think some of you would appreciate that as well. And next weekend, I actually took some vacation time, so I'll have vacation time coupled with a holiday. So I'm going to have a 4-day weekend, and I might make another video next weekend too. So that's at least how I feel about it. That's enough time for me, and you guys kind of know it. Like, after you're off of work for a couple days, then the whole, you know, allure of being off of work kind of starts to dwindle. It's like, oh, okay, it's just another day. What am I going to do today? You know? So, yeah. Anyways, I think that I'll find the time to make one more video next weekend. So that'll kind of make up for these longer gaps, hopefully. But these are cool looking here. You know, just true to form. A lot of these depict people on horseback. I'm pretty sure anybody who knows anything about the Mongolians knows what a big part of their culture horses were. It makes me think about like Genghis Khan and stuff. I'm pretty sure that Genghis Khan had like the biggest horseback army. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. I think that was the deal. Like he had like the biggest horseback army ever or something like that. I mean, they were big on horses, so I know that. I at least know that much. I am not some Mongolian whiz. Cool buildings. These are aesthetically enjoyable. I like these. Look at a panda. That's cool. I saw a video recently of a panda giving birth. It was sitting in its cage, and it just like squirted out its baby like it was a turd. And it was surprised too. It was like, whoa! It looked at its little baby and kind of was like, what the heck is that? Like, did that come out of me? Pandas are weird. I mean, you know, we'll keep them alive, you know, because everybody loves them and they're cute and all that. But they probably should have gone extinct a long time ago. I mean, they are just dumb. And also, they have a really hard time reproducing. I mean, if we're just talking natural selection, pandas should have been gone already, you know. But whatever, I don't care. Keep them alive. People want to make the effort. They're a huge deal in China and all that stuff. But I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent. You know, the thing is, not to sound cold-hearted, but you know, I don't think a lot of people are aware that like every single day there's like a couple dozen species that go extinct on the planet, right? I mean, like every day. I mean, this is, you know, species go extinct, and it has nothing to do with you or me or the environment or, you know, emissions from cars or any of that. Just species go extinct. It's part of the world we live in. You know, like, this is just stuff that happens. Like, I don't know. I haven't looked up the rate currently, but I'm pretty sure that back in like the early 2000s, it was like 25 species a day or something would go extinct. And yeah. You know, it's just life. So yeah, I wouldn't like cry if pandas went extinct. You know, they'd just be one of many other species that just disappear. You know, and that's just life. New species come about. Whatever, it's evolution. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I just felt like sharing my thoughts about that. I feel like people don't understand that. Like some species go extinct, and it's man's fault. There is no doubt, right? I mean, like, you know, I mean, you look at ones that almost did, like the buffalo or something, right? Clearly, that was that was man's influence. But there's a lot of species that just don't make it, you know, on their own, just in the natural environment, and that's just life. It's just the world we live in. Okay, so these are all cool. I'm just kind of looking at them all. I don't really have anything that sticks out too much. Wow, there's a lot of camels here. What the heck? But I mean, I like these in general. I like the colors. As you guys may know, I enjoy colorful stamps, like tropical stamps. I like vibrant, bright colors. And they don't even have to be vibrant or bright. Just a good mix. And as always, man, I can't help it. I just always compare stamps to these German stamps from like the 50s that I just found to be so boring and like lifeless. I think they're from the 50s or so. Anyways, they like scarred me forever. I just found them to be like probably the most boring stamps I've ever seen. There's some German stamps. And then I look at stamp, and I keep that in my head, and I like bounce everything off of that in my head, and like these are way cooler to me than those German stamps. So yeah, I like them. You know, anything that does better than than mid-century, mid-19th century German stamps. You know, yay, we're doing good. I just found those so boring. I couldn't help it. Look at Mickey. Mickey. That's cool. Otolobus Manuel. Sorry guys, my nose feels a little bit congested. I don't know why. I don't feel sick, so feel pretty good. So we got some cool flowers and stuff. What is this, like sea life? No, I thought it was a crab or something. It's astronauts. 77. Whew. I want to say it's a CTO, but I'm not sure. Weird. What the heck is going on here? What is this? You see that? That's weird. So, I thought it was a hinge at first, but it's not. You can actually just see the front design through the back. I'm not sure what happened there. Okay. It's raised, so, is it? That is very weird to me. I'm trying to understand exactly what happened here. I'm almost thinking another stamp was face forward on this one's back and like a piece of it stayed on there. But I mean that definitely. And okay, never mind. I mean I'd have to say that's clearly the design is clearly on the actual front of the stamp. So it must be some kind of thin. I don't know how that was achieved. That is very weird, and it feels rough. Okay, well, I don't know what to say about that. That's weird. I haven't quite seen that I can recall. So interesting. Got me kind of scratching my head there with what happened with that. But we'll move on. Cool looking bird. It looks like a beaver. And I saw a video recently of a beaver. Some lady was swimming in a creek, and a freaking beaver like totally went after her and started trying to bite her, and she was freaking out. I was just wondering. I mean, are beavers territorial? I mean, what the heck? Yeah, that was a weird video. Mongolian. Oh, I tell you, I can't remember what you call these kind of animals like beavers, but the ones that have large incisors, like a mouse or a rat or something like that. Kind of those front big incisors, I believe is how you describe that. They're just like, those are like some of the worst animals to get bit by. That kind of animal with those kind of teeth. Because they're just these long, deep teeth and they can really go in far. And I just hear those bites from those kind of animals. I'm sorry, the word completely escapes me, whatever category or whatever those would be considered. But yeah, basically you just don't want to get bit by that kind of animal. It's not a good bite. Seems like common sense, but I guess it's just somebody at some point was stressing that to me, that it's really like, of all the animals, like that's a really bad kind of animal to get bit by. The ones with large front, long front teeth like that. Don't even know what you call that. But. Trains. Okay. CTOs. Still yet again. That one kind of looked like it was used. I don't know. It's really, really, really faint cancel. Which, to me, it's almost as too imperfect to be a CTO, but I don't know. See, that one looks more like a CTO to me. So, trains and stuff. Here we got Big Strong Man. 22nd Summer Olympic Games in Moscow, 1980. This is interesting, having its little second stamp on the side here. Brasiliana, 79. Since this is number 1096B, must be worth 75 cents. I will say this actually looks like a used stamp. That's definitely a real canceled. That's no CTO. Finally, nice to see one that's for real. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. Nice cancel between the two. No CTO. We have come such a long way, haven't we? Oh. I don't know why this just reminded me of I've been having like apartment issues. I had a big giant rat not that long ago. Scared the heck out of me. Oh my god, I can't believe how big rats can get. So anyways, that I haven't had another one since, but then my AC stopped working in my apartment. That was great. And then I asked them to come and fix it, and they ignored me for like 3 days. So I had to leave the front office a nasty message. I'd be like, I still don't have air conditioning. Nobody's been here. It's been several days. Like, you guys need to come down here. And then within like 10 minutes, they were right there fixing my AC. What the heck? And so it turns out my apartment complex just got bought by a new company. And they left a letter on my door and are like, yeah, okay, we're the new management, new owners, blah, blah, blah. We're going to have a seamless transition and all this, you know. And it wasn't. It hasn't been. So much for their seamless transition. They shut down the portal that you pay your rent in on the internet. And right when rent was due, right at the beginning of the month. These are really cool. And so I had to go freaking bother to go get a money order to pay rent, and they're like, yeah, it should be a week or two, we'll have the website back up and you can pay rent and all that. Well, it's been like a month, it's still not up, and I have sprung a water leak under my washing machine, and every time I wash my clothes I have a big giant puddle of water under my machine. I'm like, great, you know, like this place is just falling apart, one thing after another. Look at it. Look at this guy. That's cute. I've seen some videos of these. These are some cute little creatures. So yeah, and they still haven't fixed the website, so I can't make a maintenance request still. And so I called them and left them a message, and I haven't heard anything back. It's been a couple of days. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. I mean, wouldn't you think that if you were going to buy an entire apartment complex, like a big giant huge community, before you shut down the old portal or any of that, wouldn't you get all that set up so that hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of renters don't get super pissed off that they can't pay their rent and they all have to go to the, you know, post office or whatever and get a money order? And it's just the way that this transition has happened from this new acquisition. Whoever bought my apartment complex, it's been absolute garbage. I have not been happy. It's like a horrible way to get started here. You know, you think that they would just, I don't know. I don't know what to say. You guys get what I'm saying. It's just frustrating. I mean, what in the heck? These are pretty cool stamps, I gotta say. I don't know what I was gonna say $20. You know, I don't know what money, what their currency is. So I have no idea. I like that one. It actually, for some reason, kind of reminds me of Betty Boop, but clearly she's not Betty Boop. Betty Boop is black. I never knew that. Somebody pointed that out to me, and I was like, huh? Is it Betty Boop or Betsy Boop? Betty Boop? Oh, God, this will bother me. Hold on, I think it's Betty Boop. Yeah. It's Betty Boop. That's what I was thinking of. Yeah, I never knew she was black. That's why she has the little curls in her hair. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that brings back some kind of memory, without looking it up, that, like, originally her cartoon, you could tell she was black. She had dark skin. And then, for whatever reasons, they lightened her skin up. And so I just feel like people don't know that. Betty Boop's a black lady. These are really nice looking, these plants, flowers. Yeah, It does kind of take a little bit of fire out of my belly when they're all CTOs, but whatever. Number 1784, hockey souvenir sheet. Kind of cool. I wish I was into sports, you guys. I'm just not. My coworkers, they're all like manly men, men's men, and they watch football and hockey and, that kind of stuff. And it's just so boring to me. I'm so sorry. I don't care about sports at all. I mean, I've always thought it was way more fun to play sports than to watch sports. And I just don't get, why people are so fanatical about it. I mean, God dang it. I just don't get it. Even as an American, I don't care about football at all. I could not care less. Whatever. Who cares, Bunch of overpaid monkeys running around, I mean, what? What? I used to, when I was a kid, it used to excite me. I've been to a professional basketball game. I've been to a professional football game. It used to be exciting for me, but as I've gotten older, I just don't care anymore. Whatever. Watch these guys make way, way too much money to just play a game. It's a game. And, I don't know. I fell out of love with sports. I don't know. What can I say? I'm just being honest, man. Doesn't mean anything to me anymore. Who cares? Sitting around watching a football game is just about the most boring thing I could do, honestly. Ugh. I mean, I guess it'd be worse to watch, grass grow, but football is pretty boring to me, I have to admit. Now, basketball, I will say, I actually like watching basketball more than football because it's just got a faster pace. God, football, you just stop, go, stop, go, stop, go, stop, go. Oh, I mean, that is, ugh. At least basketball, there's a flow, goes from one end of the court to the other and back and forth, A lot of sports like that, And, yeah, football, for some reason, man, it's just so boring. Oy. So enough about that. That's my opinion. Just a cartoon. I was going to say, it almost looks like an Eskimo, but I guess they're just Mongolian. Must be going to school, I'm supposing. Interesting kind of cartoonish series. This USSR Mongolia. So they must be. Oh, they got a rabbit. Airmail. So Mongolian airmail commemorating Russian space. I don't know. I guess satellite or endeavors or something. Ooh. Airmail. Oh, okay. I didn't even realize these were semi-postals. Is there... Oh, yeah. 60 plus 5. Okay, yeah. That slipped right by me. I didn't even realize. These are 79 stamps. 1979. Zeppelins. 1931. Airmail. These are cool. I like these. What is that? So it looks like a dam, but I'm not quite understanding what the big giant flotation looking device is. Okay. Well, I'll pull that page out. Not sure why that's stuck there. What? Oh my gosh. Look, hold up. Look at this. What? Since when do I have this? Oh man. That's cool. Those are some old Benjamin stamps there. That's actually a really neat find. Now, I don't think that these would be any kind of valuable series, but these are definitely older Benjamins. There's older ones than this, I do believe, just from looking at them. But yeah, clearly, I mean, this is an older stamp. This is 1800s or something, early 1900s, easy. Looks like a horribly stained letter, but really cool. Maybe it was Michigan, like a big blue ink Canceled. 1861. Yeah, Jackson, Michigan. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'll mess around with that more, but that is super duper cool. Oh my gosh. Okay, we'll look at that at the end. So anyway, it looks like a partial sheet paint here. C33, a sheet of 12. He's written. Ew, so sad. To have a paperclip on that page. I understand what he was doing. We're gonna get that out of here, though. Did it bend the page? Did it leave any indentations? Looks like really small, minor indentations at the tip of my tongs here. This is not very valuable at all. Anyways, I'm pretty sure this is looking like a big old CTO partial sheet paint here. Sheet paint at 12. We just got different. Okay, block of 6, strip of 3, another strip of 3. Yeah, what an interesting looking series too. I mean, what's the story here? I mean, animals alongside satellites. Are the animals the inspiration? Are the animals perhaps constellations? Were the ships named after the animals? I don't know. I just don't. What's the point of animals and satellites? An interesting strip. Let me save this paper clip. Get that out of here. Okay. I've enjoyed this album. This has been better than I thought it would be. I just like it. Aww, that's always so sad. Storing things properly, huh, guys? It's our jobs as collectors to store things properly, because I saw something just the other day. I might as well just leave it. I was going to try and bend it back, but whatever. We're caretakers for these items. We all know that, right? But I was watching some stamp video, and somebody said, basically, we don't own any of this. These are not ours. Your stamps in your collection are not yours. You know why? Because you came into this life with nothing, and you'll leave with nothing. The stamps will remain long after you're gone. And so what we really are is like temporary caretakers. And so we basically keep these stamps and maintain them until we leave this life and they move on to somebody else. And I was like, interesting. So I just never had that perspective in thought about, so I don't own any of this. These aren't even mine. They're temporarily mine. Man. Yes and no. I mean, yes, you're right. No, you're not at the same time. Like, whatever. I get what they're saying, but I guess in the longest, broadest perspective, I guess, I guess that I only temporarily own these things. Oh, cool, yeah. I was like, what? My groceries are... Somebody's shopping for me and getting my groceries delivered. So, yay! And, anyway, just an interesting thought. This is a cool sheet. I like it. Actually, really do like this. The art style is nice. Oh boy, sorry for the yawn. I'm not sure what year. I do see little bends in this thing, so this would be, I'm sure, considered unused instead of mint. But nice. Okay, interesting sheet. And so it looks like there's a bunch more airmails. However, these souvenir sheets were not airmails, according to his catalog number that he wrote. Okay, so all right, so we've switched now. Finally, it looks like to Mozambique. RA. That's a postal tax stamp, I think. RA? Mozambique. Portugal. Look at this guy. What is that? Okay, what did he say? 260-X. The X, I believe, is him saying that it's damaged, so the value is kind of kaput. Interesting looking stamp, though, huh? And clearly the corner's messed up. Let's see what's written here. Upper left corner nicked, I think is what he wrote. Interesting cancel, though. Cool looking cancel. That one kind of popped out to me a little bit. Okay, I've definitely seen this stamp design before. This one also has an interesting cancel. Looks like some kind of hexagonal cancel that's unfortunately only a partial strike on this stamp, but cool looking. I believe my camera battery is about to die. Let me switch it up. Okie dokie. What is this? 39. So this one's damaged as well. It says upper right corner nicked. Yep, I'd agree with that. We have ourselves a missing corner. Mozambique Company. Hold on. It does say that. Companhia de Mozambique. So the Mozambique Company. I had learned a little bit about that at some point, and guess what? Yep, I totally forgot. I just can't freaking remember. So these are postage dues here. Maybe that's what the portiedo means up at the top. I think that's a... Looks like a thin. Looks like a thin to me. So it looks like somebody ripped a hinge off. This one actually looks like... Okay, there's definitely a hinge remaining, and looks like pieces of paper stuck on as well. Cool, though. Mozambique postage dues. I don't think that these are Mozambique Company postage dues. I think that these are just Mozambique postage dues. Okay. So airmail. This one's C2, so this should be the second issue of airmail, second release for Mozambique. Looks like another hexagonal cancel. This one actually has the same kind of cancel as well. Must be a common cancel. Just kind of taking a look here. Mozambique. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see what else is in here. This has been a better album than I expected, quite frankly, already. Oh man, he's got these in this little... I forget what... These had a name. Crystal something? Crystal... I can't remember. Maybe some of you know. But there was some kind of stamp cover, or stamp like a mount, just like this, that you could put your stamps in. It was called Crystal something, and I'm pretty sure it turned out that it would ruin the stamps over time, and they ended up being a bad idea. I'm not sure these are those exact ones I'm thinking of. You may know what I'm thinking of, you old timers, but I can't recall. Yeah, I don't even know what you would call... I mean, what would you call this? A sleeve? Stamp sleeve? I'm not sure. I just stick to mounts. Okay. Well, looks like a real used stamp. That's nice. It's actually in decent shape. Nice. There you go. A little bit of stuff wrong with that on the back. Whoops. That was me. Portuguese, República Portuguesa, Mozambique. Nice little series here with the map. Looks like a bunch of butterflies. Those are pretty. I like them. Oh, what is this one? That's cool. It's got some shiny silver foil on it. Okay, I was gonna try and read it, but why even bother? Sometimes I seems like I never learned my lesson trying to read these foreign languages here. Let's just try to skip all that because I'm not gonna succeed. All right, moving on. What is this? Is that like a? I was gonna say a beaver tail, but I am just not sure what that is, frankly. Okay, there we go. Oh yeah, I've had a couple of people buy place a couple of decent orders from my shop, my hip stamp store. I just want to thank you guys if you're watching. The most recent was I believe a gentleman bought some Canadian covers from me, and he lives in Canada, and I just really appreciate it, you guys. Thank you. Every time I see get a little email or a notification that I sold some stuff, it always makes me smile. I'm like, oh, thank God. It's so nice. I really, really need the money, and I really appreciate it. It's funny because everything on my store is generally pretty cheap. Most everything is pretty cheap, so somebody could buy 20 things and it's only $1 a piece, and it's only a $20 order, but it's actually quite a lot of stuff. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you, anybody who buys from me at my hip stamp store. Thank you. These are cool. Oh wow! So here we go. A whole page for the Mozambique company. You wrote 2930. This is cool. How are these looking as far as condition? Pretty rough. Okay, that one looks a little better maybe, but this seems to be how most stamps are in this giant collection I had bought. I can't even remember. I think I paid $3,500 for this collection originally. It was like 6 boxes or something worth of albums. And that's what we're still looking through. This has got to be, it's been a year and a half or 2 years or something like that since I've bought this collection. But it's so nice that I'm still going through it. I do hate to see that kind of stuff like this. I mean, the stamp is crap. I mean, it's got a big, nasty, thin spot. But then again, look at the one underneath it. Looks fine. So, I know, I found out who he was at some point, but this gentleman, I don't know where he sourced his stuff from, but a lot of them have flaws. And oftentimes, he would say mint, and it's, in my opinion, not mint. But, then somebody always chimes in and says, well, yeah, but mint kind of meant something different back in the day. I'm well aware that you can have, depending on the time period, you can have hinges on stamps and it still be considered mint. Because that was the practice back then in that time. Everybody used hinges, so be it. I get it. But there's an awful lot of these stamps in here that do have actual real flaws, like creases and thins and, spots or whatever. And he wrote them as mint. I'm like, okay, I don't know. I just don't know what's the rationale with that. How could you say that's mint? Like, this is not mint. Okay. Did he? Yeah, you see, he said it's mint, but it has a thin. You guys can see that. The paper's been pulled away. It's got a thin spot right there. But, oh well, not to bash him too hard. This is a hobby, and we do it for fun. And not everybody, is perfect with it. It's I just try not to be like too judgmental, you know. I mean, gosh, like I'm far from perfect, you know, and my collection is far from perfect, you know. So, but there is a part of me that kind of, you know, like especially like this guy had a lot of albums. I mean, he had dozens and dozens of albums. He clearly tried, he clearly cared. But if you see, like, if I picture this guy, and I mean, if he's going to spend this much time making all these albums and cataloging and organizing all of these stamps, you'd think that at some point he would become savvy with what really is mint or not. And so, I don't know. This is something that I kind of struggle with. Like this one, it actually looks pretty dang immaculate, except at the tip of the triangle, there is a hinge mark remaining. I don't know if you can see that. It almost looks like a strip going across the top of the triangle here. That is a hinge mark, and it actually looks like a little bit of the hinge is still remaining. So, and he marked that as mint. Well, so, you know, is this old enough that I'd have to say in the catalog, all mint stamps or something up to this point are all stamps up to this point with hinges are still considered mint, you know, or whatever. It'll tell you in the catalog if it's hinged, whether or not it would still be considered mint up to a certain point in time. And yeah, so anyway, I just struggle with that a little bit with this. Like, I do like the guy's collection. I'm glad I got it. I really am. But there are some things that kind of irk me a little bit, you know. It's not like a huge deal, but I mean, you know, like, you shouldn't really be like, there's too many things that he's called mint that clearly are not mint. That's probably my issue. I know that a hinge doesn't just mean it's not mint, but come on. I mean, I don't know. Bends, thins, creases. I mean, that's not mint. You know, you can't say that's mint. So yeah, basically everything that he writes in here, everything that he's categorized one way or another, mint or whatever, I have to take with a grain of salt and really evaluate myself to decide, is it really mint or not? So this one is an interesting one. Provincia de Mozambique. Okay, Mozambique, province of Mozambique. It's an actual raised embossed head portrait on the stamp. Holy moly, this thing has a bunch of paper stuck on the back, but he has this written as number 1. Maybe this is number 1. This is number 1, 25 cents. Interesting. This may be the very first release, and it's an overprint. I'm not sure what all it says. Something Mozambique, probably something about company, probably Company de Mozambique. That'd be my guess. That's an interesting stamp. And these are clearly out of order. Interesting to see that down here at kind of the end of Mozambique, practically, and that's supposedly number 1. That's what he wrote. So this is a nice little series of airmails here. They all look generally nice. Without pulling them all out, at least on the front, they seem to be looking in pretty good shape. Yeah, that's not bad. Nice little airmail series. I do like these. These are cool. I mean, these are just cool stamps. They got different shapes and different colors. And yeah, thanks for the variety, you know. I always love that. Okay, so that did it for the album. Now, I hope you guys enjoyed that. I did, and I want to take a little bit better look at this page that was slipped in there, which, I mean, something like this shouldn't really have any, like, what's it doing in that album? I mean, this is an American cover. Oh man, somebody has it slid into just about the absolute cheesiest cellophane cover I've ever seen. I'm sure I could come up with something better than that. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it looks like it's closed. There's probably really no reason to take it out of the cover. It doesn't want to go back on, though. Uh-oh. Alright, let's just get rid of that freaking crap. Junk. Bye. I've got a nice clear sleeve I can put this in. But yeah. So we've already looked at this for a little while. I won't spend too much on it. Too much time. But yeah. Interesting cancel, too. It's like some kind of, I don't know, just grid line blue ink cancel. I think. Yeah. I wonder what happened. Spilled the coffee? You know? The paper feels harder there. Somebody definitely spilled something on this thing. But it still has the, oh my gosh, what do you call this? I should know this. Something with a C. Cachet. Gosh darn it. Sorry, I had to pull that one out of the depths of my brain. So yeah, I think this is a nice cachet. Tea Garden House, La Porte, Indiana. This is a very cool cover. So from my experience of checking out these Franklin stamps like this, this is probably like a $5 or $10 stamp. I don't think this is a valuable issue. There's a lot of these Benjamin Franklin stamps that look like this, and there are minor differences, so there's lots of variations. I don't even think this is the oldest one that you can find, not even close, I don't think. But something in my head is like 1890, you know, or so. Or wait, what did the 1861? Okay, so maybe it's older than I'm thinking, and I'm literally just kind of speaking out of, you know, just my guts here. Oh, look at, so what is this? This was down here. Okay. Oh wow. So this, a little note about this thing. Okay, so let's learn here. I'll put it like this so you guys can see it, and I will read to you. How about that? Okay, it says, note, Scott's number 63, dated December 27th, 1861, blue cancellation, perf 12, vertical strip of 3 stamps, perforated on 3 sides. Oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that. They are. It's not perforated on this side. It says perforated on 3 sides only. Right side of stamps are imperforated. Edge of stamps to right of strip. Yeah. Wow. Okay, yeah. He's right. The more that I look at it, you can see the design of the next stamps on the edge. So that was probably supposed to be cut with scissors, I'm guessing, or something. And somebody did a crap job. Yeah, okay, so the right edge is clean and sharp, no perforations made. Yeah, okay. Mail bag. Oh, so he explains the stain. He says it's a mail bag stain on the lower left corner of the envelope. How does he know it's a mail bag stain? Hey, if any of you have any input on that, feel free to let me know in the comments, because I guess that's just so far before my time. I mean, I know what a mail bag is, but why? How could he attribute this stain to being from a mail bag? Why would that be? Was it raining that day? I don't get it. I don't know. So if you have any input on that, let me know. I'm curious about your thoughts. It says also, the 1-cent blue Franklin was issued August 27th, 1861. It says, because of the missing vertical perforations along the right side of the stamps and the fine to very fine condition of this strip of 3 stamps, this envelope can be rated exceptional and unique and can be valued above Scott's catalog price. How is the centering of these stamps? I guess it's pretty good. I don't know. It seems pretty good. Well, I mean, so this is like a total oddball. I mean, why was this tucked into this Mongolian album? Like, what? Man, this is super cool, though. I'm totally loving it. I mean, I love this cover. This can easily go into my Hingeless Heirloom Mystic album. I was in my head just now thinking, should I put it in my big giant worldwide album, or would this be more appropriate in my US album? And I think that this would probably be better placed in my US album. So, yeah, what an interesting. I mean, that is. Like, this is freaking awesome. Assuming that everything he's saying is correct, then this. I mean, he wrote that this has a $450 value. Is that for real? I mean, I don't trust any of the values he's written on this in anything because I just don't trust him. But, so let's say, I will say, okay, as far as where this nasty stain could have gotten, that's probably the best place it probably could have been on this entire envelope, is in this corner. If it had hit over here, that would have really sullied this cover. So, even though it's sad it's stained, that's overall, I think, a lucky outcome from the location of the stain. You can still see pretty much everything else that you would want to see. And he says that the number 63, of course. See, so I would have to verify that, and I don't think I don't think this is a particularly hard one to identify. I think I actually have some 63s already. Well, anyways, I'm going to leave this on my desk, and when I feel like digging into it and verifying what it is, I will. But that is definitely, I will say, assuming that this is all correct. I mean, somebody bothered. Somebody cared and checked it pretty thoroughly, it seems. This is probably one of the best finds I've had in a while. I mean, this is actually a pretty cool cover. And if it really does have some kind of value attached to it, I mean, even if it was only real world value, a couple $100 or something, that still would make it the best find I've had in a long, long time. This is a unique cover, and it is pretty cool, and I actually really, really like it. Completely unexpected. I mean, what? That's freaking crazy. So anyway, moving on. Wow, that made my morning. This is what's on the back. So we've got a letter sheet envelope. Let's pop this out and take a look. Yeah, this is so weird. This is so out of place. I just don't understand why this is here. It's almost like it fell out of another album and like slipped its way into this album or something. It shouldn't be here. Okay, so it's kind of stuck together. I'm not going to force this apart, but a letter sheet envelope. So I guess that you tear off the ends. I wonder if, it seems like it's a sheet of paper that's folded for you so that you can just, I assume you can just write your letter and then fold it up into the actual envelope and just mail it. And I'm assuming that it's actually meant to be able to be opened, even though the adhesive here, there you go, was kind of stopping me. I was going to say, I assume that it's easily open to begin with. You write it all up, then you lick it and adhere it shut, and then when you go to read it, you actually tear the perforated edges off the sides and or top to open it and read it. That's actually pretty neat. I mean, it's like practical, it's logical, and it's pretty cool. It makes sense. I like it. Series 7. If not called for in 10 days, postmaster will please return to. Interesting. So that's actually a pretty cool looking piece as well. I have a lot of course, you guys know, I have a lot of this kind of stuff. I got a whole buttload of stuff, frankly. But I can't recall if I actually have this specific thing anywhere else. I know I have similar stuff. I just don't know for sure. This might be the first or only letter sheet envelope I have. Yeah, I'd have to do a whole lot of looking through a lot of stock of my stuff, but I'm not really sure I have that anywhere else. So another really cool thing. And then what's this? Airmail. It says via first airmail flight Montreal to Albany. Okay. There you go. There's another ellipse cancel. This is, I believe, what's considered an ellipse, but this would be a duplex cancel. Well, the cancellation device has both of these, the CDS and the ellipse cancel on it. So they go ka-chunk, and it leaves 2 marks. So they've struck it twice to cancel each stamp. 1 p.m. 28th something, 1 p.m. 20. Yeah, it's got to be the same. So same strike twice on this. Sent to William F. Elliott's. It looks like, well, William F. Elliott, whatever. General Service, Albany, New York. Let's see if I can snag this guy out of here. Airmail. Okay. Albany, New York, 1928, 6:30. What does this say? It says Canada. Scott, number 145. I'm kind of having a hard time. 200. What? What? He's saying this is a $200 and some cover. First flight Montreal to Albany, New York, October 1st, 1928. $65. Okay. He's saying the Scott number 145. $200 on cover? What? I'm having a hard time understanding here. I mean, what do you guys think? Is this really a $200, $275 cover? I don't think so, but I think that this is optimistic, maybe a little beyond optimistic. But this would all have to be verified, of course. I mean, I guess it being a first flight, I mean, that's something that's unique, but I mean, this is the thing where I don't know for sure. This is where you have to research. I have to research stuff because, I mean, this is like far from my first flight cover. I mean, I have a whole bunch of first flight covers from all kinds of different things, and I don't think any of them are really valuable more than, I don't know, anything significant, more than like a just regular first day cover, but I mean, this is a specific commemoration. Maybe this was an important flight. I don't know, and neither of these stamps immediately come off to me like being super rare or valuable. But I'm not like I haven't messed with Canadian stamps for quite a while, and I will say that one thing that kind of sticks out to me that's interesting on this one is it says Confederation Canada. I'm not usually used to seeing that, so that's interesting. This stamp just doesn't ring. Neither of these really ring a bell with me. Yeah, at least right off the cuff, I just can't. I don't recall. I mean, maybe they are valuable stamps. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I mean, if you know right away, you're like, oh yeah, that's oh, these are coveted, these first flight, Montreal to Albany covers or something. Let me know. I mean, but my guts tell me, nah. I think that he's probably being extremely optimistic. I mean, saying this is nearly a $300 cover, I don't know. I struggle to believe that. I would have an easier time believing that Benjamin Franklin cover has some value attached to it compared to this one, but yeah, I'd have to do some more research. I'd have to look up the stamps, verify which ones they are, and then what would I do is I'd go Hip Stamp or eBay to see what people would be selling a similar cover for, or what covers specifically on eBay have already sold, which are similar, what they sold for, to kind of just amalgamate through research and searching what I think this generally would be worth. But it's really hard to just take people at their word. It's really hard to take this guy at his word on this one too. But see, if this one I would find easier to believe. Now, if the perforations really are missing, I mean, like it's an actual error, then that would definitely make it rarer, which would increase the value. And so I'm trying to reason through this. I mean, it can't be a coil, either horizontal or vertical, right? Because if it was a horizontal coil, then it would be perforated on the vertical sides. If it was a vertical coil, it would be perforated on the horizontal sides. So, and what I'm thinking out loud, just what I'm thinking about is, it has to be, I guess, a booklet stamp then, because those are the only kind of stamps I've seen that would be imperforate on one side. But then again, if there is the design of the next row or column of stamps on there, you would assume that there actually should have been another row of stamps next to it. Sorry, my camera stopped. So anyway, yeah, if you see the design of the next column, I would assume there would have been another column of stamps here. And if that were the case, then they should have been perforated so that you could separate them, right? So I do find this intriguing. I mean, the fact that it is imperforate, is that actually just an error? And I'm picturing like somebody cutting the stamps like way back, the kind of earliest sheets. I mean, you just cut them apart. But these are clearly an issue that has been perforated. So I don't know. I'd have to check this out more. Maybe I could get an expert opinion. But logically, I kind of am agreeing here. I mean, I feel like these probably should have been perforated, and they aren't. Yeah. If that's the case, then this is an error, which would make it unique. And then it is unique otherwise because it's a strip of 3 with a nice light blue cancel with a decent CDS here, a nice cachet. I mean, there are a lot of things about this that actually are pretty cool and intriguing. And I would say that there may be something to this cover. It may be actually having some kind of value. But anyway, what do you guys think? Let me know. I'm curious your thoughts on this thing. Is there something, I mean, without, researching it and becoming more well-informed, I mean, I'm just kind of talking out loud about it and thinking through it. I mean, yeah, I kind of feel like these should be perforated. I mean, what could this have been like? Is there any chance even that these could have been like part of a souvenir sheet? I don't think so. No. It's just weird. Maybe they weren't meant to be perforated, and it's just like something from production where you would have the slight edge of the next stamp on there. I don't know. I just, yeah. Anyway, I don't want to try to mull it over too much here on video, but on camera. But yeah, this is cool. I'm interested in this. Cool. Well, geez. All right, you guys. Well, that does it. Hope you enjoyed this adventure. I actually really enjoyed that. That was cool. Surprisingly good album. Beautiful stamps. Cool to look at. And then, yeah, I mean, it's just really hard to have a bad time when you're supposedly finding $450 covers in your collection. I hope that would be real. That'd be cool. But like I'm saying, I mean, that cover does seem to have a few things going for it that would make it seem a little bit more unique. So, if that's the case, isn't this the kind of stuff that we always hope for? Just like, digging through random stamps, find something cool that might have some value attached to it. Love it, man. I mean, that's like, That's like the best you can kind of hope for. Honestly, like, it's awesome. So really cool. I'm really glad I looked at this album, and this is just about the last thing I would have ever expected to find in there. I mean, how weird. Why is this in there? Well, anyways, that does it for this episode, guys. I'll catch you next time. I wish all of you the best. Bye.